Welcome back to Game of the Cosmos. I just realized I didn't start the local recording after the end of the first one, but not much has changed. We found where our Viking neighbors were as did some exploration continuing eastward. This will probably be the second part of this first session, and this will probably be a short-ish session because I'm already an hour and 10 into recording. I don't plan on going that much longer. It's long enough to at least see what the lay of the land is for our small fledgling city empire magic. Goes there. No really important tech changes, just minor stuff on the way to cooperation. And as for on our city culture is expanded. The savannah, which is pretty useful to us at this point. Hopefully at some point we could also get this donkey resource. Sort of funny seeing a locust form. But yeah, it happens. I might... I didn't realize I didn't have anything on standby. Oh no, a volcano that I can't even see. I probably won't, like, well, I could, but I don't want to deal with cutting and rendering this bigger file to smaller files. Like, I do want to upload these even if they're not in the best of condition. I don't want to waste that much time just cutting these into like half-hour chunks. So I just gotta go in this direction. Stone door can fill in this little gap. Like, you didn't miss much. I just discovered Deception, which isn't gonna matter as much. Operation will, and it's all tradition, but that's not my main focus right now. The hard hammer percussion will matter. See, this stone door is going this way. There's our first natural wonder. I think the official name is Wonders of Nature, but I like Natural Wonder better. That's like where the first one discovered it, so there might not be another Civ in this area that our scout is. We also got money out of it, which is always nice. This Natural Wonder is way out here though, but you never know. We might be able to build a city there eventually. Some buffalo. You're going there. Cooperation will be done soon. Like, we're out of Vikings right now, but the Vikings might just be doing other stuff. Um, Continue making stone doors, I guess. The first financial. Now we're doing good. So I guess the buffaloes decided to attack us. Run, I guess. Use a scout lift. Stay to hand, quick. Stay to hand, quick march. To there. I'd rather not lose the scout to something like buffalo, of all things. But the wildlife is wildlife. It just.
Every kind of peaceful cooperation among men is primarily based on mutual trust and only secondarily on institutions such as courts of justice and police.
Wildlife does its own thing. Cooperation just leads to more stuff. A mega child crew is useful, but we don't have any of this stuff at this point. You're gonna see the volcano message happening a lot during this era. Let the scout heal up. Still good enough terrain to not die in the process. I'm gonna hope this animal doesn't attack us. A Neanderthal brute. One thing about Neanderthals, besides while being annoying like a barbarians, even the brute is basically everything the Neanderthals have access to is stronger than us. Brutes normally have 1 strength, so the Neanderthal brute has 2 strength. It's also good against melee, so I'm just gonna have to avoid this Neanderthal possible. Gonna have to remove state of hand. Neanderthal's like in the worst possible. Oh, this barbarian's in the worst possible spot. Stone throwers are ranged and not melee, so it has that going for it. But I'm gonna have to just fortify. Wasn't expecting the barbarians to spawn so soon and at an inconvenient spot like this. But I'm gonna go for oral tradition next. It will give us oral tradition, which is more culture, which we're gonna need at this point. I'm gonna switch build a brute to deal with this other brute. But brutes are pretty much disposable. They're good against barbarians. They're good against barbarians, but they're terrible against animals. Our clubman doesn't have that penalty for. I actually dealt with it. Good job. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to waste time. You're gonna have to waste time switching off of quick march. It's a good spot actually for a city, if possible. But I'm gonna have to avoid the Neanderthal brute because we cannot deal with it at this time. Our stone throwers have the advantage against brutes, but Neanderthal brutes just has too much base strength to really deal with. Fire until healed. I really need to have a unit or something to prevent barbarians from spawning on this stretch of land. Especially to prevent a barbarian, a Neanderthal unit, because if that happens, then we're not going to be able to explore. So I was thinking something there should do. I want to avoid that buffalo. Just so the bad stuff don't happen to me. The last thing you want to do is engage like promoted wildlife, because you'll create something that will be a pain to deal with later. So I think this first part of the session is like 44 minutes or so. I'm not sure how long this will be because I didn't catch what time I hit the record button. Take the heals. I guess desert terrain doesn't count as something that would damage you, just taiga. You are going to continue that way. I'll probably be the last stone thrower, and then I'll build something else. Probably wild mushrooms. And... Um... 2 at 16. Uh, 216. I guess I have to add another stone door, I suppose. I guess start to work on food, because I will, I guess, do cooking at some point. That'll offset a penalty from some of the stuff we're building. Okay, so there's bison there. I think we're gonna keep going this way if possible. It's a Viking. There's elephants there. I suppose I could see who this Viking guy is. Ragnar. Okay. Quick march. Stay to hand. I guess be part of exploration. It looks like it could lead somewhere else. I keep going this way though. Follow the wanderer. Not that much action happening. This is the start, so we're not gonna have any ideas as to like expansion and combat yet. Okay, so that lets nowhere. Just follow the Viking. Looks like this might be the edge of this continent. We have enough espionage to see what the Vikings are planning. Not that it matters. It seems like we're both doing our own thing. So this brute is just into fortifications. I was smart at building another brute so it could be strong enough to not, I guess, die to any wildlife, but I don't think anything's gonna attack this brute. Knock on wood. Keep exploring. That gorilla is probably gonna kill the stone door. I guess you can go there. There's not really a point to see what resources are here just yet. Maybe I'll look around once I get to hard hammer percussion. Here's a Neanderthal wanderer. Can he do anything against him? I'll say the hand starters. Probably not. Just stand put, I guess. Turn that off just in case. Wait. And it looks like that's the edge of that continent. It's a cave there. Caves are important, it's just not a good hit. Caves are important, but it's not that many around us. That's like the closest cave, and that's... No, that's one right there. The caves are important. There's a couple of stuff related to them that are of use. It looks like the closest cave to us. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell, but it looks like it. Sorry, I need to scratch my ear. I just let the the Eastern Warriors explore with one movement. Just be a little bit cautious. Some research. It's a locust swarm again. At least that stone door. To also note that storms do damage you. They spawn periodically. Something you can really do to prevent them. So if one manages to spawn in this little stretch of land, it's gonna cause problems. Let's see, this stone thrower, I guess can start exploring this area. It's a rocky outcrop over there. I guess go that way. You scout. I guess keep exploring this part of the land. Yeah. So it looks like this might be the edge of this continent. Not as big as I thought it could be, but nice variety to it. Yeah, I say the hand, so you're not gonna attack that on sight. More locust. Oh, you're the scout. Hold on. Sorry, it's a little bit toasty in here today. Let's see. You're exploring that. And have you exploring that. And it looks like this is like where the continent ends for this for us. I definitely want to avoid the brute. This stone door, I guess, can go that way. Actually, go back. I forgot to switch your movement. I guess we got the short end of the stick when it comes to the size of our continent. Natural window all the way across the continent. Well, it's most of these good resources. I guess you go over there. Probably the best I can do with any other future units is to, I guess, prevent barbarians from spawning, I suppose. Move that, stay to hand. This continent goes any further, this might just be the end. A little bit further. Looks like that's as far north. Could he head there? At least until our Civ can be a little bit more seafaring. Another one. Sugarloaf Mountain. Yeah, we're gonna have to expand this direction at some point. Assuming we can deal with the Vikings. But it looks like it's just us and Vikings in this continent. Get rid of Enhanced March. So this will be like a strong 2 cities. I would look up what bonuses they offer, but it's something I could do between these two it's something I could do in between sessions. I can't talk today, apparently. And there's that Barbarian Wanderer. It's gonna take a lot more than just club stone throwers to deal with the Vikings. I'm just gonna have to out-tech them and eventually get access to better units. That's gonna start with trying to get the city to grow. Also, volcanoes, like I said, they'll keep popping up, and we can't really do much about it. It's just gonna keep on popping up, saying one of the many volcanoes we can't even see erupting and not erupting. I think just fortify there, just keep us informed in case Vikings. I don't know. I was hoping for more thunder. There's only a little stretch of land that's not gonna go anywhere. Oh, there was an exile in that village. This scene is probably gonna get ambushed and die. But at least we got a tech. Not just yet. I think there's one more civic now.
Here, we tell the story. Why the people came here. What they did when they got here. Going back to the Native Americans. And coming all the way forward.
So this will give us access to a storyteller. It'll be useful later. Knowledge inheritance, which will again help offset our the education penalty. What is a storyteller hut? Once we can build them. Storyteller requires a storyteller hut, I believe. And we have access to some general myths, which are important. Myths. These myths, as well as animal myths, will give us science, and that's a vital part of early research at Butzel writing, or maybe before that. And oral tradition, pretty useful because, like I said, will offset our education penalty. So I'm going to switch that civic. That is, which one would that be? I can actually scroll with that. Didn't realize. That is education. We're not ignorant. Hooray! Also, yeah, you can see the penalty is pretty substantial. This unhappiness. All around no-brainer. But that village probably spawned some exiles and will probably run amok at some point to either us or the Viking capital of Nidaros. I guess look around, I guess. I don't know what to do with your stone thrower. Scale might as well explore this. Hopefully not anger the cave buffalo. I guess backtrack and see what this is. This city is going to build oh, I guess not. I guess it must have changed. I remember you needed, I think this, oh wait, no, you can build a storyteller, but you need the storyteller hut and some other stuff to build some dances, which improve your city. Sorry, I needed to sneeze. Let's see. Yeah, knowledge inheritance next once we get out of anarchy. I might end this session soon just because A, it's close to midnight my time. You can tell on the top right of the screen until I hear thunder, which usually is a bad sign. Guess you can keep an eye on this area, I suppose, in case they ever hear from the Vikings. there. Yeah. Looks like that's as far as I'll be able to see in this area. For reference, let me open up science. We'll get access to like seafaring proper until like the very end of the era with like sailing. Sailing slash fishing, I believe. Maybe sooner because we have unique units that we can build at some point. I guess for now we're just gonna cycle turns and see what happens. Looks like the Vikings are going for housing, which isn't a bad idea at this point. I guess think of where to put these guys since we don't have anything left to explore. I hear more lightning, which is not a good sign. Go that way. And an anarchy, which is good. Guess for now you could just fortify there. This stone door. They have a champion, which isn't good. Okay, there's that cave there. Is that one in here? Is there? No. Something I'll just look at in between streams. I guess eyeball here, I guess. Oh, I know there's a barbarian somewhere here. I mean, a Neanderthal somewhere here. Like at this point, there's no really point to make more units if the Vikings can't really get to us. Get back here to rain now. Also, hello, Viking Scout. So it'll take 20 turns for the knowledge inheritance. How's the education? Well, I'll be able to find on the next turn, which let me see. Yeah, education is going to resolve itself eventually. Disease won't. Like I said, this wild motion right now is sort of just doing nothing. Once we get herbalism, it will be a +1 food resource. Nothing else I can really build unless I go get housing, which I probably will after hard hammer percussion. I value being able to see resources be a better choice, especially if said resource is within my borders. Like the donkey we can see now. Also, we're getting the win for losing bonus because the Vikings are slightly ahead, research-wise. Gonna remove enhanced march. Probably set up shop somewhere near. Probably on the resin. Just desert right there. Also, looks like I lost a bit of frames. I'll probably cycle a few more turns and I'll end the stream for this session. There's no reason to be here. Well, I guess I can see what animals are here. Coconut, there's barley, flax, deer, donkeys, buffalo, an elephant there, rabbits, pomegranates. The horses I'm interested in, but they're all in Viking territory. It'll be a while before I even expand that far. I think the flax has some importance. I know the resin does. Look at that in between. For now, this scout can, I guess, head back home. This stone thrower, I guess, can set up over here. I guess try to do our best to prevent barbarian spawning in our own turf, since we won't be able to rely on Vikings for that. Fortify. Send me to stone thrower, just send him back home. Maybe look in this direction. Like, probably the only way I'll see other Civs is just from barbarians. Barbarians turning into Civs. I think once we get to toolmaking, I'll end the stream. See what happens next. See what can happen next time. Preferably before electricity goes out. I don't think it will. There's a Neanderthal brute. Our stone thrower should be fine for the most part. There's something more scarier than a Neanderthal brute appears. The tower will also be important later for shipbuilding. That and the resin. Just cycle turns because we can't really do much. The Vikings are now going after herbalism. Cooking is also an important one for growth, but the city's not going to be growing, fortunately. Most advanced cities, when I went on the list, that's how far behind we are. Just 2 more turns, and then we'll end the stream. Okay, stone thrower. I suppose one other thing I should note about size matters is you can join 3 of the same unit to 1, so if I did want to get rid of this Neanderthal brew, which I might do actually. Unfortunately, I need to get this stone thrower to here. I have this guy here. And that goes with you. Wait, you don't have State of Hand. They did. Oh, now you do. Probably go down and around. Is you can combine 3 of the same unit and you have a tougher unit. There's usually some counterbalances between the two, but in the most part, in most cases, bigger is sometimes better. Let's go ahead of the horse again. Hopefully take down a Neanderthal Brood next session. But there's our tech, and let's see what goodies we get.
Man is a tool-using animal. Nowhere do you find him without tools. Without tools he is nothing. With tools he is all.
I feel like that's probably, well, this quote probably much sums up prehistoric times. Like we have brutes, and now we have clubmen. It is plenty better than brutes. Also, a taste of something that we hope we won't find as much in Neanderthal hands. But you have a mega child crew. If we had a source of meat or a mushroom or egg or etc., Omega child crews can be pretty useful. We have all these extra resources to go with it. These group wonders you can only build one of. I think this was reason for this grouping. Like I said, offers bonuses. This one gives you a source of bone, which is not as useful, but the gold can be. Some early food, which is not as good. Myth, and a volcano. But anyway, this will end tonight's stream and the end of session 1. I was hoping there'd be more to this continent, but I guess not. We found our neighbor Ragnar at the Viking Empire. The rest of this continent is mostly uninhabited. Although the only thing of note on the other end is Uluru and Sugarloaf Mountain. Let me save it for a second to show you what bonuses these offer. So natural wonders, well, not national wonders, counted a building of all things. Ironic, but yeah. But it's called Wonder of Nature, but I just call it natural wonder. As for like actual wonders, we're not going to see any for most of this era. Then we'll start seeing more as after a certain point. Let's see, Wonder of Nature. It's also like cannibalism, slavery. We'll get to that later. I said something. Let me go back. Oh, this was for the view. So the wonder of nature. Where'd it go? Oh, I went to units. Encyclopedia takes some time to load between these things. I'll go to buildings, wonder of nature once it loads. If the game crashes, at least I have a save point to go back to. I could show you that that one gives us. So we build our Uluhu, how we pronounce it. You get an extra trade route. It counts as freshwater if you're out of a river nearby. Some culture. Well, 2 food, 3 production, 4 culture, 3 happiness. A great people points for a profit. And then there's extra bonuses along with that. Cultural identity gives you +5 culture. Writing gives you +2. Get some science way later on. And cash as well. And you can build cave paintings faster, which doesn't seem that useful for us now because I have that many caves to really take advantage of that. And the Sugarloaf Mountain, I think it's more useful to us. I think once the Cyclopedia loads. See Sugarloaf Mountain right here. So that gives us 2 food, 2 hammers, 3 happiness. 2 food, 2 hammers, 2 gold, 2 culture, 3 happiness, 2 great people points for profits. This one's not as useful because the only extra it's going to give you is 10 gold with tourism. Like some are more useful than others because there's like so many different wonders. I think one that's good if I remember is not that one. Oh, Great Barrier Reef is a good one, provided bad stuff doesn't happen to it. I would say Krakatoa in particular, because obsidian is useful, but we'll get to that at a later point. For now, I'm gonna end the stream. This stream's almost been live for 2 hours. These local streams less so because I messed up. But next session, we will progress to the prehistoric times, as we have quite a ways to go to sedimentary. I'm not gonna. There's like 70 texts from even going beyond that, and like 50 from even being able to make our next city. But that's gonna be the end for this local recording. I will see you next session with more Cave in the Cosmos. See you then. See ya.